Oh, a subtly different angle.
Oh fuck! Did you hear that?
There was a very loud click.
That's my body.
Oh hey.
What up, weirdos? I found that guy off the internet. He was loitering at some festival in Bradford.
I am today in disguise because I'm not wearing my hat.
I didn't recognise him.
No, it's a bit melty. So fuck that shit. Also, yeah.
In summary.
I'm also sick of having to just like being recognised, signing autographs, taking photos,
of
selfies.
people that were like,
terrible.
oh my god, it's that guy! Fucking hell, I need like a signature. Sign my tits. Sign my dick.
So many dicks.
If you didn't know, we're at Infest Festival.
That happens every time we say Infest Festival.
It's a physical compulsion.
Yeah.
Infest Festival. And we're having a lovely time. No murders have happened. There's been some near murders.
There was a shopping list involving quick lime and speed.
Yeah, that was a shopping list that actually got made. But we didn't buy those things. It didn't actually happen. But there is time.
Mainly because it's a bank holiday weekend, so these things are hard to come by.
Yeah. We're gathered here today among these lovely weirdos to review some footage of some very silly things that we did together. So at the end of the year, we're doing something cool, which we'll tell you about at the end of this video. Look at that, a little teaser, little nugget to tempt you in. So we're doing something cool.
They're very cool, the amount of effort that's going into this.
Shit! We've only been planning it for a little while.
Yes.
But it's going to be awesome, and it's going to involve some really lovely people and some really awesome stuff. But we did an awesome thing at the beginning of the year as well, but a lot has happened since then. And it's kind of like we didn't want it to pass by the fact that this really awesome thing happened. And we did a lot of footage of that thing that we kind of haven't released yet.
So much video.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've kind of hammered together some of the silly part with some of the serious part so that we can do a director's commentary or like...
So like a kind of a... Yeah, so there's like a DVD extra, but like on a really straight to DVD budget thing. The kind of
in
DVD...
the bucket, like...
the bucket in the petrol station.
Oh shit. Like, don't touch it,
Yeah.
Don't watch it, it's fine. And we're going to chat shit over it and talk you through some of the fun stuff, some of the serious stuff that was going on at the time, very little of the serious stuff, and just explain what we were doing because we went to a bunker. We did like a stream from a bunker.
Yeah, like
our mate Gavin, little Gavin, our little
Yeah.
friend, and it was incredible and it was a really amazing experience. And it was great to have you along for the ride. But there was a lot of stuff that went into the prep for it and stuff as well because we did the very, very silly News 24, VGN News 24.
A little bit of teaser stuff building up to the event.
Yeah, because we didn't tell anyone we were going to the bunker. No one knew that was happening until
really wanted
we
to tell people we were going to nuclear bunker because it was one of it. Oh my god, it's so cool.
Yeah, and we've been planning it for nearly a year until it actually happened because we'd set a date of doing a spooky Halloween one. Didn't come off and it ended up being my birthday stream, which I was quite happy as being an actual bunker nerd and having been a bunker nerd for a very large part of my life, having my birthday stream in a bunker.
Focus on the nerd.
Definite nerd. And as part of it, I got to make a little mini documentary, which involved me standing with Gavin and asking him questions which I knew the answers to, which was a little painful, but also it was lovely to have that chat with
That's
him.
quite good because you can phrase things in a very leading way to draw information. Like...
So talk to me about it was really lovely and it was nice just to have that time with Gavin because we've been like nerding over bunkers together for a very long time and it's really, really nice. So that was cool.
So we're going to be watching all of the pre-prep teaser stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff that was filmed during
the
event because we had a camera thing going and bits of the stream.
Yes.
So we're going to be watching all of that and reacting to that.
We were talking earlier about it being kind of funny to begin this kind of Mobius loop of reactions so that you are watching us reacting to something that you have previously watched and then will watch again, and then when I edit all of this together you'll also be watching on the screen what we're watching and reacting to. So maybe you could send us your reaction videos of you reacting to us reacting.
And then the next person has to watch your video of you reacting to us reacting. And the next person has to watch their video of them reacting to you reacting to us reacting.
But not having seen us. So, like, yeah.
So eventually we'll get to a point where someone in Singapore will go, what is all the shark shit about?
Yeah.
And maybe they'll be into, like, I don't know, Boyzone or something.
That would be lush. I would really like a Boyzone fan to
be in the reaction chain.
In the reaction.
Because eventually they'll be, in fact,
it's a chain reaction. Oh my god.
It's all going very Diana Ross.
Oh my god, could we get Diana Ross in the chain reaction?
If we do, then we have to get Keanu Reeves as well.
Shit.
Speaking of straight to DVD.
Oh, I'm really excited. We've made some weird shit happen, I'm sure. If we can get Chris Carline out of retirement, I'm sure we can get Diana Ross.
We know people who know people.
Yes. Right, anyway.
We know people who can obtain quicklime.
So, we're going to watch some shit, and it starts with me being a bellend. Yes! Bellend!
Right.
So,
here's the intro.
Yeah, lovely, looking like it's the
BBC style thing. So that's very reminiscent of my old intro thing, which I used to use.
Yeah, I tried to do that on purpose with the test card. That was actually an active choice. The outfit that I'm wearing in this is my job interview outfit, and also when
pendant thingy.
Yes, as in,
yes.
I used to wear this outfit when I had meetings with heads of NHS trusts. The shot of the hospital was shot by VGN of Shuffling Puffin. That is not stock footage, that is genuinely shot just for thank you, Shuffling Puffin. We jump to a bit later in the storyline now because we had a bit of a change of storyline. We went from straight up shark attack to this needs to be more ridiculous. This is getting a little bit too...
We always do sharks, we need to do something else. Pick an animal that's not a shark. Charlie, if you can think of it, any animal, any other animal, out of the entire, I don't know what it's called, a biosphere of
it
the
could
world.
have been anything.
Anything.
It could have been anything.
What would you pick, Charlie?
Cephalopods.
Yes.
So the sharks got attacked by cephalopods. The cephalopods began to move on to land. It did escalate quite quickly. Yeah. Honestly.
This is my favourite little snippet here. They stay in your homes. So I remember distinctly getting that and just looping it. Not just to wind you up, but actually that was totally to wind you up. It was quite funny.
It's always to wind me up.
Yeah.
We jump now to Edgbaston Reservoir with me and Juicebox, and the first glimpse of the inflatable squid costume, which actually, if you look close up, that costume is a squid kidnapping a mermaid. That's what that costume actually is. And the fucked up thing is, I already had that. I owned that already. I actually bought it back when
the entire project was really just an excuse for Charlie to get out of her.
I just needed to wear the squid costume. I will pause that because there's like a sequence of events happen, which is I edited together the Edgbaston Reservoir bit and the kind of the me and Juicebox in the car bit before leaving for Dundee. And then the rest of everything from there, so me in the dark going, GPS is down, film that literally on my own driving between Glasgow and Dundee. The bit which is, where it's me driving down a ramp in a car park, that cost me £2.80 to film, because I literally paid £2.80 to drive all the way up a multi-storey car park, and all the way back down again.
You totally missed the opportunity though, because when you went up and then all the way up, paid for your parking, went all the way back down again, you should have absolutely just slammed straight through.
Like Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch style, but actually just right through the thing, because there's a global emergency on. Nobody's going to care about car park barriers anymore.
Fuck this, I'm out of here.
I'm making art. I'm making art.
A single unit of art is happening. I'll pay £2.80 for that barrier. And then we get to and filming in and Stiff shouted at me for one of this as well.
Oh, did he?
Stiff
He's quite an angry man.
He is an angry man. To be fair, he was working. We were making quite a lot of noise. We were fucking around. I've got walkie-talkies that used to be festival walkie-talkies. And I wanted to capture some audio because I didn't want to use loads of stock footage and loads of stock audio. I wanted to do my own stuff. So there was a shot I wanted, which was running over gravel whilst having like miscellaneous walkie-talkie kind of, there's been a breach kind of like whatever emergency stuff. So rather than getting stock of that, I got me and Belle to fuck about with the walkie-talkies. But what ended up happening was we ended up in a feedback loop with them, and they were just going, "Wah!" and just screaming inside the flat while Steve was trying to work from home. And he just went, "Could you keep it down, please?" And oh my god, I was absolutely mortified.
Did that go in?
Sorry, Steph.
Did that keep it down, please? Did that go into like a feedback loop as well? Keep it down, please. Keep it down. He's getting a little more and more high pitched. The way that he does get when he's.
I'm so sorry, Steph. I'm so
building
sorry.
Frothing at the mouth.
But it was great. And then the final shot is of Andy in his airsoft gear at the bunker doing the door. Because no one knew we were going to the bunker, the whole point was all they had seen was me being a dickhead in front of my green screen, doing the news. Such a bell end. Just doing the news. And then the whole idea was kind of curtains up at the end, and hola motherfuckers, we're in a bunker.
So I don't really remember the last one, because obviously I saw the first few. I thought I need to watch these before I start streaming, because I'm going to put them out, and I don't really get a chance to watch stuff like that properly.
Yeah.
While I'm being creative. But you pulled it all together and edited, because you borrowed Belle's laptop, that's like really high spec CAD thing that she completely underutilizes.
I like it.
You were editing in the bunker, so that I would have a video to play as the intro, and I just had to fucking throw it out. I didn't have a chance to watch it, so there's that little clip there where Andy's opening the door with his tiny little assault rifle that's still in my house. I'm sure it looks, it would look like a full-size rifle on a small child, or a Frosty, if he'd been available. But then the bunker would have looked massive. So I've not seen that before.
No. Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, so the whole thing's very new to me.
And then we go into the setup phase. So setup, you'd done some recce, so I got you in touch with Gavin and was like, I know a guy with a bunker. So the line in the car when I say I know a place, I know a place, because I was lucky enough to not only be in the bunker community, but also have done an amazing music project and multimedia project here before with an old friend of mine.
So we legit know people that know people.
Yeah, we know people that know people.
Frequently, the person I know that knows people is Charlie.
I know some people. It's quite nice. But yeah, so put me in touch with Gavin, and he'd been down to do a bit of a recce before.
So me and Andy had gone down, so near a cypher. We'd gone down.
Who is totally secret Cato, by the way. Not actually, because, God bless secret Cato, but...
It's the unsung member of Team VGN.
Totally. Thank you, Andy. You're a legend.
Does a lot of stuff in the background for us. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
We'd gone down, recce'd the whole place, thought about camera angles, all kinds of stuff. And we'd had an original date of Halloween, so it hadn't been too far before that we'd gone down, did some measuring up, ordered some cables, which were massively long, way too long.
They were, oh my god, it was hilarious.
It's like, how far is it? Oh, it was about 2.5 meters. Okay, so I'll buy a 6 meter cable.
Just in case.
Just in case. But it's much better, because we're doing everything on Friday night, so it's much better to have something that's way too long and go, oh, now we need to move things closer, which isn't going to happen, because the tables that you can see there now are bolted to the floor, so we have no opportunity to move those, because they're bolted to the floor, because that's where they were positioned, because all the power and all the phones from the war time all come up and are bolted. It's all wired into underground ducting and stuff, so you've got zero option to move those. This paused frame here fantastically has Charlie chilling the fuck out while chatting to Gavin.
I'm catching up with my lovely friend Gavin, who I hadn't seen for a very long time, but it is very funny, because during this time lapse moment, it was this bit of the setup was very much the Fizz and Andy bit of the setup, and they did a very good job, and I'm very proud of you both. It was nice because I got to chat to Gavin.
It very much looks like any kind of gig I've put on in the past, where there's a whole bunch of crap appears, things go everywhere, it looks an absolute mess, and then it's very neat. Yeah. And that switchover happens quite suddenly, and we'll see that, because I kind of purposely put that in the edit, and actually it happens when the lights go off, because we kind of scuttle everything away quite suddenly.
And that's when we start figuring out the lighting that suddenly we start kind
it's
of
like all the
finessing
phase
things.
1 is done. We'll clear up that lot. Now we're getting the lighting stuff out. So we're trying to spend a lot of time trying to work out what we did with the boards, the maps, but we couldn't really plan a lot of that in advance because we had to get the kit there to see what it actually looked like.
Yeah.
Because like at the back of the two boards, that you can't, they're not very obvious there, but the blue frame, there's screens that pull down.
Because they're huge maps.
They're massive plexiglass.
Of Scotland.
Yeah.
And they were custom made.
Yes.
They were custom made because the original maps that were in there were taken out when the bunker was decommissioned. Nerd. And they're absolutely incredible. They're really, really cool. And they're really beautiful. And they made a very good backdrop for our event. But it was trying to figure out the best way to use them. Because for a little while in this pause, you can also see we had Han hanging out behind the map.
Yep.
And we weren't sure whether he was going to be there or
we weren't sure what to do with him, but we thought, well, we'll take him down whenever done at VGN from anywhere else. So Firm's HQ, as was in Birmingham.
Yeah.
It's like take Han, but we weren't quite sure where to put him. Didn't want to have him too obvious, so I think he ended up behind the glass on the right hand side. So it's actually only in the stream via a reflection.
Yeah.
It was kind of like trying to be subtle,
yeah.
And I don't think anybody noticed him until we kind of dropped a hint.
Yeah. And it was like, he's here, he's with us.
There's an Easter egg. this is a lot of me and Andy looking at like camera angles and all kinds of stuff. So,
switcheroo. So we figured out a bunch of stuff, and then one of the things that we'd been chatting about whilst lounging around for a while was the best way to light Fizz, because when you have the maps lit to show the detail of the maps, then throws out the lighting in the rest of the room because it's backlit. So we needed to front light Fizz so that you could actually see him and kind of go, oh, there's a fucking guy DJing in a bunker.
Yeah.
And the best way that we had to do that at the time with the kit that we had was to project the visuals onto him. And that's kind of what we ended up with. That was a simple concept, but really complicated to pull off. Yeah.
So
and it was kind of because of where things were located in the room.
Because everything's so far apart. So we ended up with a laptop with a projector at one end of the room, way away from where I was.
Yeah.
And now I was running my normal visualization stuff on that, so projecting that onto me, in addition to having another copy of it on the stream that you cut into. So it was two different ones, not the same. But because that all reacts to music and the various beats and on bars it changes and responds, I needed to put the audio into that laptop at the far end of the room, and we didn't have a big audio cable. So what's completely unobvious, I have a tiny little Bluetooth receiver.
Oh, okay.
Bluetooth receiver, which then put an aux cable into, which you can plug into a non-speaker. So it's Bluetooth receiver plugged into a laptop as an audio in, which was hooked up to my laptop I was DJing from. So
fuck's sake.
Yeah, so my audio from the DJing was going out the decks into my streaming PC, to speakers in the room, and to a Bluetooth receiver at the far end, so that I could do the visuals over myself. It was kind of, it's all these tiny little...
There was so many of those fiddly little bits that came together to make it happen, though. And it was like, how are we going to do this in a space where you can't run a cable from there, or there's no power socket over there, or you can't move that desk because it doesn't move?
Because we decided not to take my lighting rig from VGN HQ.
Because it's hot and heavy and...
It's all wired in, and then I would have to strip out a lot of cable. Because I bought the PC that we use for the streaming and encoding here is not my normal PC. It's the one that I used to use when I started streaming, so it's not as powerful, can't do as much, no marbles. There was a lot of... There was no marbles, some other stuff on it got cut back, so they try and reduce the load on it, not tax it as much. Laptops, you can see that in front of me with all my DJ kit. It was off to the side of the monitor facing me. Monitors all over the...
There was a lot, and actually, because of the lighting, you can't necessarily see how much kit is in this room, but there was a lot going on to make this stream happen. There was a lot happening in this room. And then in the foreground on the setcom desk, which is this main desk here, you can see me editing that final episode of VGN News 24 and the bunker documentary with me asking Gavin the questions that I would know the answers to.
Yep.
And getting all of that uploaded to YouTube so it's ready to go live when we went live, and uploaded, and we had such a fucking nightmare. Simply just transferring data from one end of room to the other. It was just everything was
also
fucking flat.
it was because normally
we were opposite ends of the country usually, so
we use cloud storage, sync stuff back and forward, send links for all the downloading the stuff. But because we were all in the same room and on the same internet connection, which is not as fast as I've got quite a fast connection, but so it was just like trying to upload stuff and download stuff. And I think at the start when I started streaming, everybody had just sat down at their laptops and popped up on Discord with their cameras as well from the room, and it's like, no, you're taking up my bandwidth.
It was so funny because everything was like junk, like no, just everyone just shut this shit down. Yeah, so like normally everybody, they might be on Discord, they're watching the stream live as well, but being in the room and then watching all that down, and it just killed everything. So the start of the stream was a bit until we went, oh my god. Yeah, because we had some folk come with us, which was really nice. Sadly, we didn't have as many folk as we wanted because this was just after like the last COVID lockdown time of
January 2021?
22 this year.
22.
Fuck. And some folk were still poorly, folk weren't able to come. So we had like 3-4 people.
End up dropping, so...
But it was really, really lovely. And what was nice was it was actually really super chill because we didn't have like a PA in there or anything. We had your monitors.
Yep.
But it meant that like the actual audio in the room was big enough to fill the space, but it wasn't like fucking raving, and it was really nice. We just had a few of us sat around with our laptops chatting, drinking cups of tea, having a few beers, doing a bit of dancing, having a nice time. The area siren we'll get to, because that was loud. And we got to reveal this big thing. So we did all of this work, got all this prep, got the video finally transferred to you so we could do the final episode of VGN News 24. And then Fizz presses the big button, and oh my god, it's tiny DJ Arricc in front of a big map, and he's streaming from inside a bunker. And the crowd goes wild. Yeah, some people kind of lost their shit over that. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool, yeah. A lot of people got a bit of a shock, kind of like, oh my god, that's not where you usually are.
Yeah. So we go now into a feed that is a time lapse of the stream interspersed with some real time of the stream. And it's really nice because we had some good camera angles.
It actually, because of the way, the layout of the room, where at the opposite end from where I was, there's like 2 long desks, and then people were sitting along them. It felt very much like a kind of production studio thing going on, which it doesn't usually feel like.
Yeah.
And then at the end, there's a very high desk, which is where you were sat when you were doing the video editing, and it felt like a kind of director team press office type stuff going on. It was really quite cool.
Yeah, but what was nice was those long desks. We could have kind of the community of the people who were attending, hanging out and chatting and doing their thing, like chatting in like virtual world chatting and chatting in the physical world as well. And in Stiff's case, I think he was playing a game. And we were just doing that from those long tables. And then you had Fizz down his end doing his little dancey thing, doing his thing. And it was a really nice layout because it meant that we could have the long shot of the bunker so you could get the real impact. But you could still see me and a little bit of Belle in that as well. Yeah. So it wasn't like there's just a lonely man in a giant bunker on his own. But there's also a nice side shot of you so you can see your rig and the maps. Yep. In a moment, there is an invasion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, so, this is my what the fuck is going on?
Didn't tell you this was going to happen. So I brought the squid costume with me to the bunker. And Andy in his airsoft outfit was chasing me around inside the squid costume.
There are moments in VGN where every now and then I think I've lost control of my stream. I don't know what's going on. But I'm just going to have to roll with this because I have no choice.
And a lot of those times it's because I've done something.
Bell end.
Something has happened. Charlie's done something again. What even is this? Those fucking eyes on that squid costume. And then I sat down and it just slowly deflates behind me. It just goes
so dejected.
This little dance you do is so cute.
Disappeared.
He's gone, he's back. I'm dancing now.
Yeah.
And there's lots of stuff going on. So this
siren.
is the air raid siren. So the air raid siren was great. We do a little dance around the air raid siren like it's a fucking pole. I get the air raid siren. I was very lucky to be able to do the air raid siren.
So I think, because we did the air raid siren twice, and this is the first time. I'm banging my hand in the air. But I think I forgot to turn the microphone on for the initial start up.
Yeah, because you get closer, and that's when people can really hear it. And
No. They could hear it when I went and turned the microphone on.
Yeah. We're like, yes. So some things happened here. One, we scared all the dogs and cats that watch VGN over Twitch. Sorry about that.
Oops.
And two, you'll sorry Gavin, this is him going, what's happened? And you can see me going, oh Gavin, I'm so sorry, I broke an artifact, I'll just go away. Because what happened is I on the air raid siren you can alter how much sound is coming out, so how loud it is, by twisting the handle, and the vents on the side open up, and it's to do with how much air is going through when you're.
So for some reason, Charlie had to turn it down.
No, you can go do, so it goes wah, and gets louder and quieter. So I thought I would do that at the end as it was winding down. What I didn't know is that recently donated to the museum, the actual moving parts inside were slightly out of alignment. So when I did that, I fucked it. Absolutely fucked it. So yeah, sorry Gavin, it's since been fixed.
It lasted, one more, because actually we did a community points redeem, a community challenge to actually do the air raid siren, because we never do them, and it's like, actually, you know what, community challenge, air raid siren, everyone's just like bang 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 bang, throwing in the 2,000 shark teeth maximum points you can chuck in per stream, and we hit the target quite quickly. Yeah. And then we did it again because, well, I felt a bit bad about the fact I fucked up the microphone, so I think I made it a little bit cheaper. Yeah. But shit. Yeah, that was good fun. There's lots more dancing. This I've zoomed in on because it looks like I'm giving you a telling off. So stern.
What's actually happening here is we're coming up with a cunning plan. So me and Fizz are quite good in that we bounce quite well off each other, and we're really good at kind of escalating from I've had an idea about what we can do to idea quite quickly, and especially when we're in the same room as each other, which we don't often get to do anymore.
In the entire setup to us filming this, oh my god, there's so many other things projects that suddenly.
So even just today, we ended up spending like 2 hours just sat here chatting shit and plotting further world domination, just because we're in the same room as each other, and this is just what happens, which is fucking lovely, and I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much. But even little things on the stream, which are usually done over chat. We have a private chat channel in Team VGN. And we will kind of go, oh, this thing's coming up, or I've noticed this has come up in chat, let's move on to this, or should we do a poll for this, or should we do a giveaway for this thing, or just little bits that might come up, and we need to kind of dynamically shift to work with that. What's happening there is we had come up with something and we were plotting, but what it looks like is I'm going, oh Fizz, you're a very naughty little man. And it made me laugh so much, I thought we would just take that little moment to look at us.
Did you watch the whole recording of the stream?
Yes.
Because I don't. I did when I first started streaming. After a stream, I would watch the whole thing back. Yeah. And then I got to the point of
you were losing days.
But then I cut it down a little bit to more critiquing my transitions.
Oh, okay.
My mixing.
Yeah.
Until eventually I just gave up because it was just so much time.
Yeah.
Too much time sink. Especially when I started doing more streams. So I don't really watch them anymore. I record them all, so I've got them in case there's any kind of reaction videos that we need to film.
Yeah.
But never watch them.
Yeah. No. So. For this one, I wanted to go through it because there was so much in it that had happened, and also because I was making a video, it was like, you got to do your research.
Yep.
Even if you're a dick, you still got to put some effort in. This I wanted to pick out because we don't get to talk much about all the stuff you do in the background, right?
Right.
And like your tech setup and how you've kind of built up the stream over time. And one of the little things that you do that is a bit different to some of the other streamers, particularly on like dark Twitch, is that you intersperse bits of the stream. You've got different cameras and things, you've got different overlays that you use. Some of them involve me going because I'm a bellend. But you have the visuals that you use, and I thought it might be nice to kind of pick that out and say, the fuck? Talk to us.
What this? Well, this is my logo spinning in the background of the thing. But I, early on, kind of felt like, you know, it's a DJ stream, it's a bit about music. People don't want to stare at me all the time. Also, I don't want people staring at me all the time. So if you've lasted this long watching, I'm feeling a little bit creeped out. But also, if you're for me, if I'm in front of the camera all the time, I'm always on.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time when if the visuals are up for a little bit longer, then I might be stuffing my face with some food or
the secret's out.
Yeah, or nip into the loo. It's a lot easier when you're not having to put on an 8 to 10 minutes. This is a Mercy track, run across the crowd dance floor. I think though during dirty secret of VGN is that we have a rule about no bare feet in chat, and there's a redeem for it. I probably shouldn't give this away because this is a total dirty secret. I always DJ on my bare feet, so I'm always barefoot, right? And when we were filming the stream from the bunker, at one point, I think I put on a longer song, or I put a song on, and I queued up the next one, and then I flipped to the visuals, and then everyone just sees me legging it across the room into the dorm, put my shoes on, and then leg it upstairs because the toilet is
yeah, because it's like what, the flight of stairs to the kitchen
the
bit,
kitchen,
and then
out,
up,
and then all the way back.
It's like you don't get to see in this, but the bunker's like down the entrance bit, down a bit more, down the hallway, through the canteen bit, down the stairs. It's a full bunker.
Yeah.
It's a big space, so going for a wee is an adventure.
It is, yeah. But everybody was like, "What's going on? Where's he going? Why has he put his shoes on? Is he leaving? Is it safe to go home?" It just confused everybody until I came back and took them off and ran back, and I had to go to hike. You know, like I don't think I put a Sister Mercy track on, but there was definitely maybe something a little bit longer.
That's literally the only reason why it's got Goth in the title. Virtual Goth Night. It's just so you've got tracks that are long enough to go for a wee to. So
it's kind of more these days. It's kind of more music that Goth likes. Goth. A lot of people feel the very focus is on like the trad thing, which for me, Goth has never been just purely trad Goth. It's always been more about the broader. Goth is an umbrella for a big, broad spectrum of music.
Yeah.
So many different styles. And I mean, Goths love cheese as well, you know, so putting in some absolute nonsense tracks like Baby Sharp, like Stick, you know, how many people went to an alternative night that used to end with Nelly the Elephant? The Nelly the Elephant's not a particularly alternative track, but it's become alternative and embraced by the scene.
We've been saying, like, since the get-go, it's not so much goth music, but it's music that goths like. And that is like such a way better way of encompassing this, because particularly during the Poison and Remedy streams, Friday night is definitely safe to say that, because so much gets ticked over the genre list. But when you take into account like the people who came to the Poison and Remedy streams and how they were still the Goth Night crowd, but they were coming for Rock Night and for like a chilled out vibe, like ambient hutch stream on a Sunday. And it's the same thing. So it's not like about like the most gothiest goth thing, because fuck gatekeeping. It's just about playing music that goths like and hanging out with a bunch of weirdos.
Actually, we were chatting about this. I was going to say this morning, but it wasn't this morning.
It wasn't. We're at a festival. We're at Infest Festival.
And the phrase "no frills Goth Night" came up. That's good, wasn't it? So I already told Kinnan that I would be using that. Master
do I have to go and update all the socials now so that everything says no frills?
No, he's had his royalties.
Oh, royalties. Okay, right.
Yeah, okay. He's been taken care of.
Oh, we need more quicklime.
No, we don't. No. But going back to the visuals.
Yeah.
So one of the key things for that is really to help, when you're at a nightclub and you're in a club night, then you're dancing, there's lights going and everything, and that's not just some guy standing there going,
yeah,
yeah. So mixing that in to try and help make a bit of a club night feeling, and we were getting a lot of folk who were at home, you couldn't leave home, pandemic, all that sort of stuff, and they were setting up like dance floors in their kitchen, in their dining room, in their living room, and kind of having that mix in where they've got a dark room and they've just got the visuals kind of blasting in there as well, and reacting in time to the music. I think that kind of helped put a kind of a nightclub feel around it a little bit more than just me. I've got the lights in the room, they react to the music as well. That's all so many cables,
and people can at home it's all falling apart. People at home can redeem shark teeth to change the lights at VGN.
Yes, you can, and maybe they'll do things like strobe. I always feel bad when it's strobes and it's the visuals that are up, and I'm like, have they wasted the points?
I'm going to stick that to the back of your head. There we go. That's where that lives now.
Lives there now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hide.
Okay, you hide. I'm going to watch this. So I have noticed in editing this, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 points where it's A-pop tracks that are playing. I promise we play more than A-pop.
Actually, mostly I end up not playing A-pop because I always end on A-pop.
Yeah.
High 99% of the time. I'm kind of self-conscious about that, so I end up not playing any other A-pop tracks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix this.
Okay.
Guess it's fucking.
One moment, please. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
I'm sure this will get edited out. Oh my god, there's so much tape up here that's come apart.
Please enjoy the delights of Fizz butt cam.
I'll try not to grind too much.
We should do a redeem for goth twerking. We do say actually there is a new bot command which I made, which is
twerk
lurking, and I stealth put this in that because I wanted to make sure people know that lurking is completely legit at VGN, and not just because we say it, but we genuinely mean it. We know a lot of people just come along and listen, and that's completely fine, and we really appreciate the fact that people do that. So working, lurking, and twerking are all acceptable.
Working, lurking, and twerking.
Yeah.
Okay.
All acceptable.
See, this is another instance where there's been a creative decision made and I've lost control.
So, not just the mod motherfuckers. I'm also fucking shit up in the background, and he doesn't even know about it.
Don't even know.
Don't have a fucking clue.
So what else am I missing?
So much. Anyway, right. So, you thanking Gavin for being a legend.
Yeah.
28 group.
Wait.
That's
that's one thing actually. The logo.
Yes.
At the top right of the screen is the Royal Observer Corps.
Yeah.
Logo. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the Royal Observer Corps, I'm not going to nerd off about this, but the Royal Observer Corps, it's really, really special that they let us use this space. And Gavin is like a legend, but the fact that the committee and everyone involved in the bunker have been cool enough to let us be part of this. But the Royal Observer Corps have their logo. It kind of felt important to make sure that was part of the stream, because we've got our VGN logo, we've got Dash Forum, and we wanted the ROC to be part of this as well. We've got a banner in the background which has a bit of detail about it, but sadly you couldn't actually really see that over the stream. So Fizz made a bit of effort to make sure that the logo was on there, because all the bits, cheers, like everything that came in from this stream all went to the bunker, because they're in the process of trying to get museum status at the moment. They were hit really badly during the pandemic because they couldn't get tours in and stuff. So it was really lovely that we were able to do something to not only thank them for having us in, but also raise a bit of the profile and say there's this amazing place that you can kind of go and visit and see a really interesting part of history. But yeah, it was lovely that we got to have the logo on there. And recently Gavin has created a new version of that logo, which is exactly as you see it there. I'll do a little zoomy thing. But rather than the signal flame, it's a cornetto.
We can probably put it about here.
Yeah, just
in the edit of here.
There we go. Cheers, Gavin.
Cornetto is quite funny because it started off as a thing to wind up Charlie, because you came up to Aberdeen And I said, do you need anything from the shop? And she said, cornettos. So I went and got cornettos.
Yeah.
They never had any. And then I just started eating them on stream.
Yeah. And every time I saw him eating them, it was like, not only is it shit for me seeing my beloved friends from back home having a lovely time, and like they're so far away and I can't be with them, but I'm with them, but I'm not. That sucks. But they're also eating fucking ice cream without me. And I was like, oh, you bags of shite. And then it was like, well, actually, let's eat ice cream together. So
yeah, it just became a thing. So from me and Andy just being on cam and just
it was the way you did it so creepily, like nothing was said. It was just these two dudes like just eating ice cream together. But oh, you reminded me, then during goth tasking I did a secret thing that you didn't know about.
No, I didn't.
Which was in the final video. I messaged independently and didn't tell any of them they were happening either, a bunch of VGNers and Matt Hart as well, and also Instant Scary Name Here, and Circuit Witch as well, and a bunch of other people, to get them to go and eat cornettos and send me a clip of them eating cornettos to be part of the final goth tasking video. And a bunch of people, my inbox was so full of just people like silently eating cornettos and staring into the camera. The weirdest one was from Farrell. Thanks very much for that, because that wasn't creepy, because he did like a really like sensual cornetto eat. It was so strange. And then that went out aired, and you were like, "What? This? How did you get this?" Matt Hart's one was really good, because he kind of just starts off normally eating it, and then he's just like, so good.
It was good.
Yeah, that was really cool. But anyway, the cornetto thing is a by the by, but we do very much like that the ROC now have an official cornetto-based logo. That's our little mark on the history of the Cold War.
What was their motto?
Forearmed is forewarned.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, thank you very much, 28 Group, for hosting us. That was very, very kind of you. And then we ended the stream with a really sweet, completely unplanned moment where we all had a bit of a dance. Fizz had his glow sticks. I managed to go one up on him with a museum artifacts, which are signals.
There was a helicopter coming into land.
So I got to have a bit of a shimmy. Belle got up and joined us, and you do a little penguin, rock hopper penguin jump, which is amazing.
Yeah. With my bare feet.
With your bare doots. And we had a little dance together to the end of the world. And it was just so freaking wholesome. It was really, really lovely. I think that might be the first time we danced on a dance floor together in fucking years.
Yep.
In a bunker, which
so
was
hang
really
on.
cool.
Am I remembering correctly that on your way up to the bunker, when you stayed over at Belle's to stage, that was the first time you'd met in person?
Yes.
Ever, despite both of you having spent so much time living in Aberdeen, going to the same clubs, knowing the same people.
Yes. So we have been in the same rooms, we've been in the same clubs, we've probably been at the same house parties, we've had the same friends for donkey's years, but we have never met until like the day before we were dancing in that bunker.
Mental. And she loaned you your laptop.
So yeah, it's just super sweet, and it was a lovely way to end what was a tired and emotional night, because it'd been so long in the rigging and everything, and so long in the planning. It was nice to have a bit of a shimmy to what was our bit of an anthem, and then at the end we very, very rapidly move on to Pajama Town. And I think I'm first in pajamas. Lowry's next, and then I think Belle comes in a onesie.
Yep. My neighbour Totoro, if I remember correctly.
I do believe so.
Yeah.
And we just there we go, classic. And we just sat around, and then that's it.
I think at this point actually we'd moved up to the kitchen to go after the leftover pizza.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man! We did a stream in a bunker.
I know, and like they didn't hate us.
They didn't hate us, so much so we're doing it again. Only we kind of didn't want to do the same thing again. So
that would be boring.
For starters, you're not getting the news. The news is that we're streaming from a bunker again.
Here's the news. Charlie is. She's not wearing her NHS.
No. The news is we're streaming from the bunker again, but this time it's for Hexmas, our fantastical Christmas specials, and we're doing a little festival.
Tiny little mini thing over 3 days.
Yeah, so you'll get Friday night stream with your man, Tiny DJ Arricc, doing his thing.
We love DJ Arricc. Then you have to worry very much about your sanity, because on the Saturday night, on the 17th of December, so 16th, 17th, 18th of December, that's the timeline. On the Saturday night is going to be a mod takeover. So I will not be DJing, and all the music will be provided by Team VGN in one way or another. I don't know if some of it will even pass as DJing. I'm not saying they're DJing. I'm saying they're taking over. So actually, this is a big trust fall for me, giving up creative control.
A trust fall. Oh, no, yeah, it's gonna be fucking hilarious.
So it's going to probably fall heavily into the realm of music the Goths like, because they're Goths and they like the music that they'll play.
Yeah, music.
But you also all have very varied tastes on the music that you like.
Yeah. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fucking weird. You know how you'll notice in most of our promo stuff, we say off-piste and zero-piste? That will definitely apply to the mod takeover. Yeah, just saying.
So that this is them playing music. It's not a case that they've given me a playlist to play. This is entirely...
This is him distancing himself from this.
So this is when I get to sit at the far end of the room in the bunker and just go, oh my
God. What have I done?
Oh, what have I done?
And then on the Sunday, we're going to have a remedy.
Yep. Nice chilled out streams, kick back, a few hours, wind up.
Yeah.
And so what we'll do is across all 3 streams, across the whole weekend, all the tips, subs, cheers, all that is again going to go to 28 group.
Yeah, so the bunker will benefit from the whole fucking thing. That's what we're doing Hexmas-wise this year, because Hexmas we've previously done charity stuff for maybe more well-known kind of big kind of things, but actually 28 group is a really good place to put that money, and they're always supportive of us, and we want to support them because they're fucking awesome. And you know, the fact that they're welcoming us back again is a really big deal, and the committee have been very accommodating because they're even letting us bring the weirdling with us, which is really cool. So come and join us for Hexmas this year, 16th, 17th and 18th of December 2022. More bullshit from underground.
So much bullshit.
So much bullshit. Yeah, we might play some more stupid games.
Yeah. I think there might be some stupid games. I think we need to maybe come up with some specific stuff for the stream.
Yeah.
As always, if anyone has any weird suggestions or things that you think will just be absolutely ridiculous, just fire them on the Discord.
Yeah. And we're gonna have a holiday in a bunker, which is personally I'm quite happy about. So yeah, it's gonna be really nice, and we can't wait to have you with us. Thank you for sticking around for this.
If you made it to this point,
53 minutes of bullshit.
If you've made it to this point, then you deserve to have heard the news about the.
Yeah, you've earned this. You fucking earned this. You've earned a bunker. So thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
We're gonna wrap up and go back to Infest Festival.
Yes. Catch you later, fuckos.
Aye.
Let's see if my hip clicks again.